Hello and welcome back to our lives, beginnings and always. Last time we ended summer of our 13th year, and now we're on to growing up and being 18. And we got the little intro here. What used to be a reprieve from the typical was now your first step into adulthood. So we are to recap. Marina has transitioned to being her identity, recognizing her identity as finally recognizing her identity as a non-binary person after a tumultuous teenage year where she had to decide this for herself. That she realized she didn't quite fit her interests and style and who she was as a person didn't quite fit as a fully cis female, and she now goes by they them pronouns and dresses mostly in a very kind of neutral fashion. And yeah, and she's made some new friends, Miranda and Terry, and she's looking towards the future. They've graduated high school, and now we're all on to the future. One fine summer morning, you took in what had become a very special scene, the whole family having a meal together. Your big sister Liz, everybody! 20 years old. Still hadn't lived at home full-time for a couple of years, but she arrived last week to spend the season here since it was an off semester for her. Because of course Liz has to be in this moment. It'd be silly if she wasn't. She wanted to make sure she was in town because you had now also graduated high school. So who knew how much rarer these moments would become in the future? She probably came to your graduation, I would assume. I'm actually surprised. Well, no, because they don't do stuff during the school year at all. They just do summer, so graduation would have happened already. I'm surprised we didn't have a party, though, for this. That was a moment I would be, usually, in America at least, when kids graduate high school, their family and friends throw a big party and get a bunch of people together. But it usually doesn't happen during school. It happens in the summer, right at like the week or two after you graduate. So, yeah, I went to a lot of these as a kid, and of course I had one myself at my parents' house and stuff with everybody. So you think they would have made that could have been a cool moment, but I don't know. All the moments they have are they fit a lot into step 3. A lot of stuff happens. A lot of stuff has to be wrapped up, and a lot of new stuff has to happen. And yeah, so there are some moments I could probably have lived without and replaced with something else, but there's a lot of good ones too. A lot of bangers. You watched on as Elizabeth good-naturedly laughed good-naturedly over a comment Mom made. Her Elizabeth-only mindset had only been a phase. Nearly any nickname was welcomed at this point in her life. She's grown up as a person. This is the evolution of Lizzie. Strangely, even though she'd moved away, you'd lately felt closer to her than you had in a long time. Yeah, so Marina was struggling with her relationship with her sister when she was younger, when her sister was a teenager, because her sister was distant, didn't want to spend time with her. And she wanted more than anything that relationship with her sister, and now she has it again. Or she's trying to get it back. You idly scooped up more of your breakfast and chewed absentmindedly. You were a vegetarian, you were a vegan, you were a pescatarian, you were a poyotarian, you were a picky eater, you generally ate whatever. I mean, I hate to be this person. So this is letting you decide what kind of a person you are a lot, but, because you can make those choices. But Marina, I think we've established, Marina doesn't care. She's kind of like a little bit more on the eat meat side kind of things than other stuff, but I wouldn't call that picky. She's a generally ate whatever, or they. I should stop saying she. I will call her Marina, or I have to call her they. They. So I have to apologize. This is very hard for me. I have friends who are they them. It's very hard for me to use those pronouns. I recognize those pronouns. I understand that they are valid and important pronouns. And I even kind of vibe with those pronouns a little bit more myself these days. But it was always hard for me to get used to that as an actual way to call people, because I'm so used to just using they as like a term for like a group of people. Oh yeah, they are gonna do that. Those people, them, they. Not for a single individual. So it's so weird for me to get in that mindset, and I apologize. I want to call Marina they when I can. So they generally ate whatever. And the meal you had reflected that. It included just about everything your moms had made, though you often made your own food nowadays. With Liz around, though, your parents made even more options than usual. Your sister had been vegetarian for a while, and they wanted to make sure she had choices too. Yeah, you can see that. Now myself, I do have dietary limitations. I don't eat a lot of sugar. I don't drink a lot of sweet drinks and stuff. I don't eat anything with like mayonnaise or heavy oily salad dressings or greasy stuff. And as I get older, I have a feeling I'm going to eat less and less bread because my mom has a gluten allergy or gluten, what's it called? The thing, I wish I could remember the name of it right now. The thing where you can't have a lot of gluten in your diet. And I have a feeling I'm developing that too. I also can't have a lot of dairy in my diet. So, like, there's a lot of dietary limitations you notice as you get older. I mean, to be fair, the character here is 18. Liz is 20. At that age, you still are, like, most kids are still a freaking, like, vacuum cleaner. And here's the older moms. So, I mentioned this last time, and I want to spend a little bit of time on this. And I hate to waste time, but this, you know, I plan on breaking this prologue up into as many videos as we need to get through it. So, strap yourselves in. We're gonna open some windows. My rant about the passage of time in this game. So, like I said before, my thought is that they were around 30 when they adopted Marina and Lizzie. So 18, they would be close to 50 now. So this probably makes sense. But some people, it just feels, and especially in Step 4 now that I've seen that, it feels like they've way advanced the ages. But like Mom, Pamela going gray, and Lonnie looks, there is something off about this. I don't like it. Like, she feels even older. This looks like, going from what she was in 5 years, going from what she is in Step 2, where she has the, and I get that she's dyeing her hair. My mom does this, actually, till I didn't realize, I didn't really think about it till recently. Now that she's getting old, she doesn't do it as much anymore. She's not gray. I think she still dyes her hair. Maybe she just doesn't go gray. But my mom used to have really vibrant, like, orangish and reddish, or orangish and brownish colors, because she dyed dyed her hair. And she might still do it to keep it like a vibrant color. And but Lonnie just looks like, and maybe this is the thing too, don't consider, I don't know. Actually, I'm pretty sure Polynesian women are another one of those, that Polynesian people in general, are another of the ethnicities that don't show aging as much as, although I'm not sure, because I know a couple of Polynesian ladies at work now, but they're younger, so I wouldn't think about it as much. They're probably in like their 30s or 40s. They're not like older. But the idea of like people who don't, you just don't notice wrinkles as much. The skin stays tighter, or the hair stays more of a vibrant color until they're a lot older. There are ethnicities like that. More Caucasian people show visible aging a lot sooner. But it just feels like they really aged down Lonnie here. Like, she looks like she's at least 60 to me in this step, and it bothers me. And I think the way she dresses here doesn't help either, because we're so used to her dressing in like bright, vibrant like colors and stuff. Like, a lot of her clothing is, and this is very pastel, very muted. The frilly sleeves. It looks like a grandma dress. She looks like a grandma. And don't get me wrong, we're about the age where we could start, if we were the kind of people that me and Liz, people have kids at this age, or they start thinking about starting families at this age. So they could be grandmas. But Pam looks right to me for about someone who's about 50. Lonnie looks like she's a lot older. Maybe she is. Maybe Lonnie is older. Maybe we don't know that. Maybe Lonnie is in her late 50s here. But just from my assumptions. That's my entire rant. I'm going to probably talk about Cliff and Kyra a little bit too, because Cliff, I feel like he gets done dirty a lot, especially in Step 4. From what I haven't even seen that much of Step 4, man. But the aging in this game bothers me, the art for that. And I'd be curious to know if I'm the only one. But anyway, let's actually continue. I won't rant about the moms anymore. We'll just live with it. They're fine. They're pretty. They're wonderful ladies. Let's continue. Conversation has gone on idly without you fully taking in the words, until your ears are piqued when Ma started on a bit of town gossip.
Uh-huh.
And so that's how I heard the news. All right. Now stop burying the lad and tell us. Is that how you say that? Is it burying the lead? I don't know. And tell us. What is this so-called news? Ma giggled as she cast a look across the table, satisfied she had everyone's attention. Well, it turns out the Donnells won't be renting the condo up the street as per Sunset Bird tradition, for the first time in what must be nearly 2 decades. A chorus of gasps and shocked expressions were had all around. After the initial shock, your eyebrows pinched. They're just all looking super shocked, man. Ma may consider them by name, but you and Liz had always viewed them exclusively as the mean old couple who would yell at anyone under 25 who crossed their paths. The mean grandparents are gone, ladies and gentlemen. Your Ma continued on with the story, spreading strawberry jam over a piece of toast as she did so. Also, I don't want to be this person. I really don't. How tight this is on this, like, her boobs look huge in this compared to any of the other steps, and the way her hand placement is, just this art for Ma bothers me. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna talk about it anymore, but it's just, I like Liz's dress though. Look at that. This is very pretty. I've never really paid that much attention to it. It's still like a floral pattern. That's what she likes, but anyway, they look embarrassed for me right now because I'm talking about that. Your Ma continued on with the story, spreading strawberry jam over a piece of toast as she did so. They decided not to take big trips anymore. Friends and family will be visiting them at their home. Oh! I just realized something. I'm sorry I keep talking about the art. You know how in the interim, they actually mention how they can wear their rings now and be recognized, their marriage can be recognized in public. I don't think she ever had the ring on her art before. You don't, I mean, I think Mom will be zoomed out at some point. We'll have to look, but yeah, that's a nice detail that they added, that they actually do wear their rings now. That's so cool. Anyway, also, this is part of the reason that Marina wears one of these now, because she wants to be like her cool moms. Just saying. Oh wait, we're not biologically related. I was about to say, it would have been kind of cool to have glasses like Mom, but I don't think Marina would be a glasses person. She would, if she had anything, she'd have contacts, but I don't think she does. That's nice for them then. Have a good summer, mean grandparents with no grandkids away from us. That's a relief. It's kind of sad they can't travel anymore. I hope they're still okay, even if they're mean. My thoughts exactly, Liz. Finally, they can piss off. You didn't have anything to yeah, this. We ding-dong ditched those people before. Be nice, kids. You don't want to end up like them, do you? You and your sister crack smiles at the joke.
Well?
At least they won't be here to yell at my children anymore. Yeah, I will straight up say I probably was yelled at by those people a lot, or Marina was probably. Yeah. The idea... Marina ding-dong ditched those people before, also... You can say things like, they could piss off now, and I love it.
Lonnie.
That blunt comment got laughter from all three of you. Engrossed in conversation once more, you continued to chat with your family until the meal was over. And then summer ended. Third time's the charm. This is charm. This is possibly the most charming moment. So yeah, I said I was going to comment on this a bit. We have this open concept living room now, with this little table, this little bowl here of stuff, the knickknacks that Mom accumulates, right? We learn later that Mom is the hoarder in the house. She buys a lot of stuff. She's like me. She goes to antique places and just accumulates stuff. Also, what is up with this one different colored pillow? Do people do this? Like, they have 3 kind of salmon colored pillows and one is this, that bothers me. And these are different colors too, but I don't know. This bothers me particularly. Yeah, and we've only got the 6 chairs now. I like the bouquet of flowers. I have an idea in my mind. I'm gonna try to draw or map this house out at some point, but we're not doing it right this second anyway. I won't talk more about the house, I promise. As it went, once the food was eaten, the cleanup had to be done. Liz took the role of washing the dishes and passed them to you for drying and putting away. You had a set of cups in front of you that needed to go on the top shelf of the cabinet. It was effortless, you were very tall. It was pretty straightforward. That's pretty straightforward for you, you were tall. You had to stretch, but it was doable, you were an average height. It was a struggle to get them up without a stepping stool, you were short. A stepping stool is mandatory for you, you're very short. No, we've established before that Marina is a good height. She's a tall gal. Or they are, Marina, they are, I'm gonna mess up all the time, but please don't be mad at me. I do apologize to the they thems who are watching this. I'm just bad at this. I want to think of this character this way. I think of the character this way, but I am going to have trouble with it. The task was pretty straightforward for you. You were tall. You really shot up in height the last few years. No one had seen it coming. Wait. Was she... She wasn't short. She was average height as a 13-year-old. I mean... I guess. I mean, I think of it this way, so we're fine. They're fine. You felt great about how things were. You hope you still might grow more. You wish you'd stop growing earlier. You didn't think about it too much. You didn't know what to think about. You didn't think about it too much. You wouldn't really care. That was a struggle for you because you remembered how you used to feel so content about it when you were younger. What? I mean, I guess we were like... I mean... I didn't say I wasn't content about it. She just doesn't think about it. She just... That's what I was... Let's go back then. Oh, we can go... It goes all the way back through all of it. I mean... I feel like, no, she's gonna be tall. Or they're gonna be tall. But, like, I wouldn't say you feel... Like, I don't know why... Like, this line right here doesn't scream to me, oh, I hate it. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter that much. Let's just go on. Liz shook you out. See, Liz is tall, too, so we're probably not as tall. I would say we're not as tall as Liz or Cove. I don't think Marina is that tall. She's probably, like, tall as, or if not more than the moms. They are. I mean, Liz took you... Maybe I should have just left her as a she. I'm getting kind of mad at myself for this. Liz shook you out of your internal musing by starting up an impromptu conversation. She seemed to be voicing the thoughts that have been buzzing around in her own head. I have to say, going back for another semester this fall is pretty intimidating. You'd think after the first year or two I'd have a handle on things, but no. You stole a glance at her, still placing cups in the proper place. I guess it's only fair. My first round was pretty general classes, and year one of my architecture major was the basics. Yeah? Yeah, that's exactly how STEM schools are, though, Liz. I went to one. I did engineering, and it was exactly the same. You just do real basic generic science stuff, or even... I had an ethics course first year. I mean, very generic basic stuff your first year that everybody takes. And then you do the basic courses, so you get... It only gets more interesting about your third year, really. So she's not wrong. Now it feels serious. I actually have to know some things. The laugh she gave was flippantly airy, but the way she scrubbed at the plates had more force than necessary. She's pretty cool. I really am impressed by this girl. I know you can handle it. I think it's really cool that you want to be an architect. That does sound hard. You simply strike... No, you really listen. No, I think it's really cool that you want to be an architect. Don't be too impressed yet. Wait to see if it actually happens. But thanks. So I work with some architects, and I kind of have an idea of how that is, and how it's not as much as people think. It's not the fantasy of just, oh, I draw a building and then build it. It's just a lot of planning and managing and stuff. But it's really a cool profession, and it's really similar to engineering, which is what I do. So it's pretty, you know, kind of... Also, my job title is environmental engineer, but resource manager or whatever is pretty similar, I guess. Natural resources technician isn't that... I could have called myself a natural resources technician before, but I do, like... I don't really manage natural resources, but I do environmental stuff, so it's pretty similar, I guess. No, you won't. No one will understand why I'm saying that if you're not part of my friend group. That's kind of an inside thing, but if you want, yeah, but it's I'll explain it later if it comes up, if and when it comes up. I think it will. Your older sister's mouth corked into a small smile. It'll be fine one way or the other.
Oh.
But I'm not trying to scare you away from college, if that's even your plan. What is going on with that anyway? Okay. This is a thing that I am also excited for Marina, because I've thought long and hard about this ever since I knew it was an option in this game. This is the big step 3 thing. This is your big thing for step 3. It's the thing that a lot of kids think about at this point when they graduate from high school. What's next? What do we do next? How do you feel about the future? What are you doing? I had a plan. I felt kind of forced to have a plan. Don't get me wrong. I felt kind of forced into it. And I think people recognize that. To go to college and to have a certain, do a certain thing and stuff. But I pretty much knew what I was doing right out of college. Going to, or out of high school. Go to college for a certain type of degree. And I stayed with that. And I don't regret it. I like the kind of job I do now. But at the time, I was very unsure about things. And I don't think anybody is very sure about things. So I think Marina has kind of a general idea of what she wants to do. I don't think anyone... I have a very hard time seeing... I don't know, I've talked to very few people, if ever, who I would say had a solid plan set for a long time or came to a firm conclusion about what they wanted to do with their future. So, these are more likely... But I think she has kind of a general idea because, and I won't spoil it, but I pretty much know what Marina's going to do with her future. You answered the question as much as you were able to, willing to. Marina probably uses they, them, and she, her pronouns. I'm just going to say that. She answered the question as much as you were able to and willing to. Liz's smile grew more reassuring as you did. You made it through 12 years of full-time education already. You've got plenty going for you. Sometimes it still felt hard to believe your public schooling experience was over. In the end, yeah. So I didn't feel that way about high school because I knew I was going on to college. And college is just therefore an extension of your education and still kind of... It's a very different experience, but you're still going to class all day and doing all the class stuff. But I felt weird when I got towards the end of college, for sure. And then the real world was there. Right? I mean, I felt a little weird about high school ending, but I don't know. High school just still didn't mean that much to me. College meant a lot to me. I'm going to be talking a lot about my school experience in this step. You'd graduate top of your class. I did, but that's not Marina. You soared through with high marks. You had to work extremely hard, but you were rewarded with great grades. You'd been an average graduate. You struggled to reach the benchmarks but made it. You didn't try hard but made it regardless. We've already established that Marina is not. I think even we're gonna go with this. We struggled to reach the benchmarks, but no. I think she would put some effort, would have put some effort in though. I kind of wish there was one where, like this, where you had to work hard to maintain an average. I feel like that's a lot more kids. Kids, I feel like that's either this is like, or this. This is a lot of kids too. Let's be honest here. I'm gonna go with you struggled to reach the benchmarks but made it. And you were going to miss it, and you felt satisfied leaving off there, and you wish you could have gone better, and you were glad it was just truly behind you. Satisfied leaving off there. It had been a difficult experience and moving forward was a relief. That sounds about right. Liz picked up on the silence her question ended up creating. She decided it was time to make a closing statement on the topic.
You're a good kid.
Do what's best for you, and we'll be here to back you up. Thanks, you're a good big sister. At that, Liz happily passed the final dish your way. She waved a soaked hands farewell and moved on to her next task for the cleanup job. You refocused on getting the last pieces put back where they belonged. Yeah, you gotta pick all this. I like the getting to pick all the stuff about your character's future and personality. There's still more of that, too. It's exciting. You eventually moved up to a new chore, but that was interrupted by the sound of your cell phone, which is so weird to me that we didn't have... I mean, I guess I wouldn't necessarily give a 13-year-old a cell phone, but the fact that the moms didn't even seem to have cell phones in that step was weird, because in 2016, cell phones were pretty common still among everybody. It was the phone's default ringtone. You used a silly novelty song as the ringtone. You set one of your most beloved songs as your ringtone. The song said, remember, Marina Foster loves music. She listens to a lot of it. She has very refined tastes. You casually picked it up from the table where you had placed it earlier. The phone was a couple years old at this point, having been a 16th birthday gift from your parents. My ringtone is silence. I never have the sound on my phone. And so it's just generic, but if I did ever have it on, it'd be a generic. I set it to something different, but it's just one of the ones that comes with the phone. I don't have the general, like, very same one that everybody else has. I hate when you go into, like, when you're in, like, a room full of a bunch of people for, like, a meeting or a seminar or something, and somebody's phone goes off. Some 50-year-old person's phone goes off, and it's, like, just the generic cell phone ringtone, you know. Because people aren't tech savvy and whatnot. I'm not very tech savvy these days, don't get me wrong. I don't consider I understand technology, but I don't understand technology, if that makes any sense. I wouldn't know how to set a song as my ringtone on my phone, even if I wanted to. I don't know how to do that. Anyway, it was a 16th birthday gift from your parents. That seems about right. As you picked it from the table where I'd placed it earlier, the phone was a couple years old at this point, having been a 16th birthday gift from your parents. Which is fine. I keep my phones about 5 years or more before I replace them. And I only replace them because it's convenient to do so, and sometimes because the manufacturers stop putting out software updates. I've gone through a few phones in the last few years, but, you know. They decided which model to get, but you get to pick the color. It was... oh, geez. Probably blue. I think blue. Or is it turquoise? Or as Dreddy would say, tortoise. I love that. Yeah, she's not really a... I mean, black also, I guess. Maybe. Favorite... I forget. I think I established a favorite color for Marina. I think it was blue, but I don't 100% remember. She's not a girly, pink, red. Purple, orange is her hair color. That would be silly. I'm gonna go with blue. I don't know. Blue sounds so generic to me. It always has. I hate that. Like, colors like this. Turquoise. And it was just a phone. You didn't do anything to decorate it. Yeah, special. Let's look at the special charms we can have. Which was... okay, never mind. The shark keychain Cove bought you when you were a kid. The lantern based in the game Lake of Voices, which... oh, wait, no, this is one of their games. I was about to say, that sounds like it's supposed to be, like, possibly a Legend of Zelda or a, but I think it's one of the games that GB Patch made. A small shell, a crystal. So it's funny that their games exist in their game world. A string of beads, a cat face, a music note, a heart. No. She would put the frickin' shark keychain. She likes sharks. She likes the ocean. The only other thing that would make sense here is a small shell, but I like this. This is charming, and it's something she would treasure, and yeah. You were pleased when you finally had a prominent place to use the gift. The screen was lit up as you gave the little device a swipe on your finger. You were informed by caller ID that it was Lee. You weren't surprised. Oh, here's Lisa Simpson. So, she doesn't sound like that anymore, I don't think. But, yeah, the cell phone is a big part of this moment. You get a lot, they really want to lay it on. I don't like the fact that you just get a cut-in of a cell phone. A very generic-looking, like, iPhone-looking thing here. It's stupid to me. Despite having busier and busier lives and not living in the same town, you still had a good relationship with your cousin of the same age. Especially once the miracle of both of you having your own phones actually happened. She got hers first, though, because she's rich. Tapping at the accept button, you answered her call. Familiar, bubbly voice came through right after it.
Hi.
And Lee looks pretty much the same. Like, she is just the same person, like 5 years older, but she barely changes. Sup? I trust I'm not interrupting anything major? I mean, she's probably prettier. She looks prettier. But still, Lee looks pretty much the same to me. Yeah, this looks about exactly what I would expect Marina's thing. I love how cute that is! Look at it! Only some cleaning around the house. Oh, then you're welcome for my call. A distraction from that must have been desperately needed. Yes, thank you, my dear cousin. Hey, I love doing chores. I like cleaning. It's good to hear from you. Even though she couldn't see it, you shook your head at that. Yes, thank you, my dear cousin.
My pleasure.
She giggled, and you could hear the jangling of jewelry she must be wearing. We're probably still having, Marina is probably still having a really good relationship with Lee. Like, I would imagine, despite them being distant, they can talk all the time on their cell phones now. I think that they would have a really good relationship. Nothing amazing is happening for me either. I'm bored and felt like chatting. My morning shift ended, so I'm free for the rest of the day. Woo! You have to work. With how much money your family has. I guess. I mean, she could also just be working for fun. That's good. You were off on your part-time job today. You hadn't started working anywhere yet, so you couldn't relate. No. We're gonna have a job. This is a big thing, but Marina's gonna have a job. For sure. There's a plan here. There's a saving money for purposes plan. Like you, Lee had started dipping your toes in the workforce as of late. It made keeping in touch frequently even more complicated, but you both managed. What about you? It's been pretty normal.
Cool.
And see, that's you then. So, how's Mr. Holden doing? There was a friendly sense of genuine curiosity in her tone. She'd always thought well of him. But that name was incredibly familiar to your ears. Cove, your next-door neighbor for the past decade at this point. You could count him among your group of friends. He was a very close friend of yours. The two of you were best friends. Cove was essentially family. Cove was essentially family. I think she would think that way. This is kind of cool because we're not dating Cove, so we get different options than when you're dating Cove. I think Cove and his dad are essentially family. Like, when you get really close to your neighbors and stuff. I had neighbors like that growing up. I still think of those people as essentially family, even though I don't see them very much or even like visit them when I'm home. Really, it's kind of how I've always felt, though. You couldn't imagine him not being a part of your life. Have you been hanging out with the boy? Have you been hanging on without the boy being 10 feet away at all times, or is everything right with the world again and he's back? So that's right. At the beginning of this, Cove isn't around. He's on a trip, but like. We're not that into Cove here, Lee. We're not into Cove that way. No, Lee, he isn't here, just like he wasn't here yesterday or the last time you asked, time before that. So even if you're not dating him, people still think the same way about the two of you. Interesting.
Sorry.
Ah, my bad. Can you blame me? Doesn't it seem like he should have made his grand return already? Plus, I want to visit soon, and he needs to be there too. So... I mean, yeah, Cove is like family. She thinks of Cove like a brother. That's a good way of putting it. That's what I was going for earlier. There was something else I was gonna say here, but the whole Cove being returning thing is just it's the big plot point of this. So I guess you could understand where she was coming from. This certainly was outside the norm. For the past couple months, and the last few weeks especially, Cove had been going to his mom's place in Nevada. The two of you still regularly stayed in contact over text and calls, but still, your mind began to drift back in time to all the prior trips you'd taken to visit her. Almost every year you'd have to go away for a while, and they'd come back. It would make you sad and lonely when it happened. You never minded it. It was kind of nice to have breaks away from each other. You weren't a fan, but made do. It was just shitty. It upset you. You and yourself worried about him leaving for good. It was just shitty. I like that. That's just... You never minded it. I mean, Cove has his family. He has his life. I mean, if anything... At this point, she's probably more mad that she doesn't get to go see Kyra. Just saying. Imagine getting to go see Kyra with, going to Nevada to see Kyra. When would you ever do that? You never minded it. You sent him letters the entire time he was away. Your mom helped you ship out care packages to him and his mom. You gave him special treasures to take with him before he left. You kept an eye on the house for him while he wasn't there. You were incapable of doing anything until he got back. Oh boy. See, this all feels very much like stuff you would think about more if you were dating Cove to me. Like, literally, this is somebody that Marina is stable enough that she just is like, yeah, Cove is cool, he's my friend, I hang out with him. You know, he's pretty much my bro. She's not like, oh my god, I need Cove in my life. What is my life without Cove Holden? I'm sorry. I think this one is funny. It felt like at least you could do when you were younger, and nothing ended up happening, so maybe it worked. She would have done that, though. She'd be like, Marina's on the case, watching your house, keeping an eye on your house with a little binoculars out the window every night, and stuff like that. He sent you letters while there in return. Oh, Cove's a pen pal. That's how I was in the past, but I don't think Marina's the writing letters type Cove. I just don't see that. That's how it was in the past, but lately he'd been trying to see her as much as he could before taking long trips to another state became too impractical to do. His part-time work could become full-time soon, or he could be moving somewhere else for school. Cove hadn't actually been entirely clear what his plans were after graduation. Cove was hesitant to speak on that, even with you. It couldn't be avoided forever, though you both knew that. Yeah, well, maybe you should switch this up. Maybe we should switch this up to a non-Cove related topic. So, yeah, you should, but yeah, the idea here is that, yeah, the future stuff is a big deal, I guess, but it's just, I don't know, Marina, I don't know, anyway, that works. The rest of the conversation rolled on, not much longer, though. Lee had to go, and you need to finish your responsibilities around the house. It's interesting thinking we have to do the cleanup and the chores and stuff, which probably is something they would want to do because the moms are slowing down. The both of you exchanged goodbyes and went back to what you'd been working on before the call came in. I mean, Lonnie, like I said, looks really old, even though she's probably not. She's probably just... I'd like to know, maybe Sorrow does know this, and maybe I've been wrong the whole time because I've been, like, criticizing Sorrow for saying the moms are, like, younger than I think they are. Because, like, she's in step 4, she's like, oh, they're only, like, in their 40s now, or I'm like, oh, honey. But maybe the Sorrow actually looks at, like, the Twitters and stuff that the GB Patch lady does. Maybe they've actually given definitive ages for the characters in this at some point. I just am dumb. I said I wasn't going to talk about that anymore, I'm sorry. As you wrapped up the last of your chores, you were approached by Liz wearing a cheeky smile. I didn't have a good background image for this yet. I probably should have did the one of the moms and her. I thought I was going to get to more, but we're already going to probably get into, like, a long video here. This is going to be, like, 3 or 4 videos, probably. I've got Mom's keys. Want to get out of this tiny town to do some shopping in a real city? Yeah, it's been way too long since I've gone anywhere exciting. Oh, geez, we're doing this.
Good.
I'm driving. That was obvious you didn't know how to drive. You were glad for that you still had your learner's permit. Even though you could drive too, it was her plan. She could do it if she wanted. It was nice for her to do that. You had a license, but tried to avoid driving when possible. There's no, like, you were mad that Liz, you wanted to drive. Yeah, I mean, Marina can drive. Marina would have been eager to learn how to drive, so she could go to, like, different surf spots and stuff. Her and Cove probably go up and down the Her and Cove probably go up and down the coast all the time when they were once they could drive, to find different beaches to surf at. If I'm honest, that sounds like something they would do. When I was that age, I didn't get my license till I was 19, and I didn't like driving even then. Still, I love driving now. Oh my god, it's one of my favorite things in the world to do. I love driving, but back then, man, I was terrified of it. Hated it. Go get your wallet and anything else. We're going now. With a nod, you may. Oh, this is a better Liz. I like the smile. She's getting the mom smile. With a nod, you made a quick detour to collect your stuff for your bedroom. You had money saved up from all the part-time work you'd done, as well as from gifts you received. Oh, hey now, Marina's saving that money. There's a method to the madness. After making sure you were both fully prepared for the long haul to the largest city in the surrounding area, you buckled into the car. It was a smooth ride there, with light conversation about what shops to stop at and the radio blasting. Liz controlled what played, and she made sure to pick songs she knew you liked. It was something the two of you had always done for each other. I mean, yeah, Marina has a taste in music. So. The trip breezed... Oh, hey, it's the mall! I forgot that we go back to the mall. The trip there breezed by, and it felt like no time at all had gone from cruising down the road to cruising through the mall. Liz had her own interests to check out, and yours. Your hobbies and skills were still the ones you developed when you were younger. You've gotten into new things since you've grown up. Let's see. It's probably the same, but let's see what kind of options we get here. I'm gonna do a lot of going back and forth here. Sorry. Let's see what we have for the beach. No. Okay, that's not. You were into sports like all of them generally. I mean, I think if I remember right, she was into volleyball. I think that Marina would probably play basketball now, if I'm honest. So we're just gonna go through everything she's into then. Well, we'll just go into everything she's in. So is surfing on? Yeah. Surfing is a thing. Swimming. Probably still looking for seashells. You were into sports like volleyball, basketball. I don't think she'd be a tennis or golf person. Yeah, you say see, you have baseball, but don't capitalize or pluralize the word. Softball? Or do you want to be into soccer? Like Derek? Huh. No, I think she was always into softball. You can't do more than one custom sport, and you like to, you enjoyed music. You listened to a lot of it, still. I think she still listens to a lot of music. She doesn't play anything. Actually, is Marina gonna have developed an instrument? Is she gonna play, like... Is she gonna have Oh man, I don't want to like have a character who has like a million talents. She's sporty and outdoorsy, right? That was what we established before. That was kind of Marina's thing. I think she still listens to a lot of music. I don't know if she would have. She might have tried playing the guitar. What's you like to watch? People. Huh. Plays? Huh. Huh. You like to hang out with people. Yeah, she always liked to hang out with people. That was a Marina thing. Games were fun. You like to play. Oh. Oh. Well, all that time spent with the Holdens and Mr. Holden and Cove being sharks, I think Marina would have picked up this interest. She probably would play with them all the time. And she still likes to read. You can't be specific here, but it still would be fiction novels. Mostly mysteries. And I think that's probably everything. We're not gonna go crazy. She's not really into... Yeah. She's not an artist or... that was everything major that came to mind. When turning a corner down a new length of the mall, your eyes caught on a little gift store. I wonder if card games they mean like... They think like collectible card games like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or stuff like that. I'm thinking that she just likes to play like poker with the Holdens. Because she would, right? She'd go over there and play with like Cliff and Cove all the freaking time. That'd be like her thing. Her thing that she does with them. Turning corner down the length of the mall, your eyes caught on a little gift store. Your friends and family have recently given you many presents for graduating high school. You realize you wanted to get a graduation gift to yourself and give... You had a gift to your own ready to give to Cove when the chance came. You really appreciate what you had got. Now, you realize you wanted to get a graduation gift for yourself to give to Cove. Let's do that. Graduation may have already come and gone, but Cove wasn't really around then anyway. You keep an eye out for something good, though you might have something nice for him home already. Eventually, the mall was explored in full. With every shop of note being checked over. Rather than going home, you decide to walk home over some smaller stores nearby. Okay, this gets into a whole other thing. I think this is a good place to leave off for this video, so we'll see you next time when we have an adventure with Liz and maybe Mr. Cove Holden gets home for the summer.